Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
This year, Santa's bringing the power of Energizer into his workshop.
Whoa, the Energizer Bunny's got so much power.
Wait, he's powered up all the toys. I think that means we're done for the year.
I love this bunny.
He's the hardest working helper the North Pole has ever seen. And he wants all your gifts to have the power of the #1 longest lasting AA battery. So this holiday season, stock up on Santa's and the elves' favorite battery, Energizer Ultimate Lithium.
Looking for a pickup truck to get just about anything done? Look no further. The Chevy Silverado EV isn't just the most powerful Silverado ever, with next-level towing capability and technology. It also offers game-changing versatility with the available multi-flex midgate and tailgate, which means Silverado EV helps you carry large, bulky, and oddly shaped items up to nearly 11 feet in length. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Visit Chevrolet.com to learn more.
You got me.
I wish I was recording. You look at me and you go, you're like so quickly like, oh, you bet. See you next Tuesday. Welcome. Speaking of, welcome to See You Next Tuesday.
Are you excited?
I'm so excited for you to hear us on this Tuesday.
Me too. It's going to be a fun-filled episode. Thank you for a lot of people that wrote in this episode.
I know, so many people did. And some people that like don't write in every episode. And I was like, oh my God, we've missed you. Thank you. I enjoyed it. So this is for episode 123.
If you're new here and you've never listened to See You Next Tuesday or anything else we have to offer, See You Next Tuesday is when we rate things that were proposed during But Am I Wrong? So this probably isn't the place you want to start, but like if you scroll maybe like 30-ish minutes, we will not be talking about the results. We'll just be talking about random shit. So choose your own adventure or just go back and listen to some other things.
You can also listen to this.
Yeah.
Just don't complain.
Yeah.
Or you can't complain.
The way you lined your lips, it looked big. That top one does. Bigger, I should say.
Also, when I'm dehydrated for some reason, well, actually, no, it's because I itch my lips when they're dehydrated, and then they get a little swollen. But unfortunately, as do my eyes. I woke up this morning and I said, ooh, my allergies. And Mutz looked at me and went, yeah. And I said, oh, you said that too fast. I need you not to agree with me so quickly.
Rude.
Yeah. He was like, no, your eyes just like, I'm going to vacuum the whole house. I'm going to dust the whole house. I was like, okay, fair.
All right, so I'm up first. Melissa says residing in denial, delusional, and detached is okay for right now. 2% said I was wrong. 98% said I was not wrong. Someone said, with the health issues that I've been having, work being stressful, and this so-called election delusion is the only way I can survive. Hope you feel better soon.
Mm-hmm.
I found my community of people really talking shit about this new update in the photos on iPhone. So, you can find anything on Reddit.
Yeah.
I think that was the only one, maybe.
Then we have Megan says wearing a blue bracelet is the crux of the issue of why white women keep voting the way they do. 4% said I was wrong. 96% said I was not wrong. I will say that like when I talked about it, there was like not much of a discourse on it, and I've seen it a lot more now.
Me too.
So I wouldn't have been as hesitant when I proposed it, where I was like, tell me if I'm off base that I don't like this.
You're perfect where you were.
Yeah, so I was aligned. Someone said this is just the latest version of the fully black feed post of 2020. Yeah. The second I saw the videos on TikTok, I felt so icky. Like, get it together. A fucking friendship bracelet isn't going to do shit for the years of gaslighting and abuse women of color have gone through. Someone else said, it sounds like white women soothing their own guilt again. I'm a white woman and honestly was really disappointed with how many of my white women friends were disengaged during this election, and then at least one of my friends didn't even vote. At the end of the day, it goes back to the fact that you feel protected by your privilege and elections won't feel as important to you. You saying the right thing, wearing the right color means nothing. Do something tangible for the women of color in your life. Meghan is right. Someone shouldn't need an accessory to demonstrate they are a safe person. You should just be able to tell immediately who is implicit in the system or an advocate for something different. I think white women can hide behind their quote-unquote being nice to not talk about their political beliefs too, but I will never be okay to be nice to someone's face or to claim support them and then vote away with their rights.
Mm-hmm.
Said, oh my God, I voted wrong. I have a blue bracelet. It's giving me pussy hat circa 2017 vibes. Someone else said, at first when I saw the blue bracelet trend, I thought it was cute, especially because I live in a red state. But then I saw someone say, imagine if men did this to signal that they are one of the good guys. And then I understood. If someone needs to look to see if I'm wearing a blue bracelet to know if they're safe around me, then I'm not doing enough. That's a good analogy.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to my For You page and honestly forgot about it. I didn't realize how irritating it was until you brought it back up. It's crazy the lengths that people will go to cover up guilt that they created for themselves. Just like you said, there's no need to warn people that you're a good person if you're a good person. TBH, when I leave my house, I don't pay attention to white people, whether they're kind or not. LOL. You know I'm not racist though. It's usually just a safer option. If a situation arises where a stranger who happens to be white talks to me and it's a pleasant interaction, it is what it is. But if I don't know you, I don't really care about you being a quote unquote safe person. At the end of the day, no stranger is safe. Facts.
Stranger danger.
Yeah. I don't even know why no one else is saying that aspect of this. Like,
why do I feel like I need to come up to you? Like, I don't get it.
Well, and like, you just know that there's like some fucking bitch with a blue bracelet who just like sees a black woman walking through the store and is like, no, I'm waiting for them to do Wakanda.
Oh
just
gosh.
like fist up and being like, and they're just waiting, or just like, and if they're bangles, like clinking them together, being like, hello,
yes,
notice me. Like, that's so fucking weird. It's so weird. And again, you can't just wear a Harris Wall shirt. Like, you can't just.
Or just walking your morals. Like, people know when you speak against or for certain issues.
But if you're like, well, I don't want anyone to think that I voted for him. Awesome.
Okay.
Did you vote for him? No. Okay. I'm not concerned that people think I voted for him because I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just didn't happen. So like, I don't have guilt over this thing. I didn't do it. I did not do it whatsoever. And like, it's just, yeah. I'm like, really? Friendship? This is what we're putting our fucking energy towards? Someone said, well, someone like made the point, like, you can just take the fucking blue bracelet off. And someone's like, well, I'm going to get a tattoo then. I'm like, oh my God. Like, literally stop.
You're making something about you that's not about you.
And they're like, look what I have done. Like, this is my sacrifice. Like, shut the fuck up.
Just go fucking talk to the other white women in your life.
Yeah.
How about that?
How about you do that? Who'd your cousin vote for? Tell me that. Like, what conversations are you having? Like, are you disengaging with those conversations with people?
Are you one of the people that are like, I can only talk about these things around people that feel the same way as me? No, that's not how you make change.
No, especially because...
Why are you trying to talk to black women?
Well, and especially because, like, it's targeted towards women who live in a red state. I'm like, you know those people.
Right.
I don't. I'll seek them out. I hope I have conversations with people who vote the same way that I do, but we have different ways of getting to whatever. Like what we say, like the way you can disagree on politics, that's not you being a morally corrupt person. Like I have those conversations all the time. Or like
we have this
people.
podcast.
Yeah, like all the fucking time we're on the same lane of it. But I'm like, if you know, and I engage in messages with conservatives all the time who I don't know personally, but who follow me. But I'm like, you know that these people, you know them. And you're saying, well, I can't talk to them. I'm just going to wear a bracelet and then take it off when I get home so my husband doesn't see. Like, that's fucking insane. And it's so embarrassing. And the fact that, like, why are you saying any of this out loud? Like, and doubling down. I'll just get a tattoo then. Okay. It's giving, like, fine, I'm just a horrible mother. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, it's so fucking weird. Okay. That's it for that one.
All right. Then we have writer number 1. Would they be wrong to tell their mom that her father might not be her bio dad? 64% said the writer's wrong. 36% said the writer's not wrong. Someone said, I feel like there is just no need to bring this up, especially if she's not 100% sure. I even think that doing the DNA test would be too much. If he doesn't know and he has been a father to her whole life, he is her father. Agree.
Mm-hmm.
Another person said, this is very conflicting to me because I don't think she is wrong, but maybe she should wait or not tell her directly, but make her find the clues. I just think I would want to know something like this. And as much as it will shake her, it doesn't have to change her relationship with her dad. Neither of them needs to find out right now. I also don't think that the writer needs to hurry and make any decisions quickly because this is such a delicate matter. It's very conflicting with it. I'm very conflicted with it myself. I wouldn't want to know. Unless he was a terrible dad.
And unless like my bio dad was like rich.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I think like finding out that like if you have a shitty dad, finding out that you have another shitty dad sucks.
Right.
Like, I'd rather just keep it to one. If like the new dad outweighs the old dad, tell me. That's actually my new deciding factor. Like, that's like, I think that like if it's two shitty dads, no. They don't cancel each other out. They just stack on top of each other.
Right.
If it is a better dad than the last dad, awesome. Yeah. It cancels one of them out. PEMDAS. So.
But there's also no way to find, unless like you do this and then you put it up on 23andMe or Ancestry.com and then you're able to find other relatives. Like, we don't even know what's happening within. Like, I could see if you did it yourself, like you took your own DNA and put it up and then you look and find relatives that aren't related to the people that you know are related to you, that's fine because that's your own thing.
That's the only way to go about it.
Yeah.
You can't like take her hair and then like do a DNA test for her.
No.
Speaking of, I did end up on Ronan Farrow TikTok because he has a new story coming out about cybersecurity. It's fucking scary. And all the comments were like, this is Frank Sinatra's son. And I said, something I don't know.
You didn't know about this?
No. I like looked at.
Where have you been?
Well, I knew that him and Mia Farrow married, but like Frank Sinatra to me did not exist at the same time as Mia Farrow. And I realized they have a large age gap, which makes more sense. But I'm like, why does Mia Farrow know who Frank Sinatra? What do you mean they were married? Like they're of two completely different generations to me. Like
they are.
I know, and that's what I mean. Like when I figured out the age difference, I was like, oh, okay. Because in my head, I'm like, that man was dead before you were born. Not true, but he was much older than her. And I was like, there's no way that Frank Sinatra could be Ronan Farrow's dad. Like that made no sense to me. And this is why I followed the subreddit Barbara Walters for Scale, because I have no concept of age and time and like when things were. And about how she said that like maybe he is. And then I was like, well, he doesn't look anything like Woody Allen at all. And like sometimes kids luck out and they get all of the genes from the good parent and none from the bad. But I was like, he also looks
very much like
Frank
his mother.
Sinatra,
but he also looks very much like his mother.
And like he looks like Frank Sinatra is a very beautiful man. He doesn't have, I would say, like totally contrasting features that I'm like, if you made him a woman, that it wouldn't look like Mia Farrow. Do you know what I mean? Like he has those features that I'm like, yeah, as a son, I could see without a doubt Ronan Farrow being your kid, but also I could just see that being Mia Farrow's kid. And then I dove into that. And apparently he did take a DNA test. He's just never shared the results.
Yep. And she was like, could be, I don't know.
Yeah, but she didn't take it for him.
Yeah.
She was like.
She gave him
There you go. I wonder if he found out on that. I doubt it. On the interview when she said, they're like, is Frank Sinatra his dad? And she's like, I don't know, maybe. I bet he was told that beforehand, but.
Yeah.
What a way to find out. You just like flipping through Vogue or whatever like article it was and be like, I would love to upgrade from like if your dad is Woody Allen and then you go option Frank Sinatra. It's Frank Sinatra.
Right.
That's who I'm fucking picking.
Yikes. All right. Someone else said they would definitely be wrong to outright tell her. If the writer really feels that this information is weighing on them, then I also suggest formulating a plan where your mom could find it on her own. Then a few years down the line and maybe after a few drinks, it's that if that's your forte, you could tell her how you actually found out, but definitely not anytime soon. Seems like that is everybody that wants to find out. They're like, let's do it by accident.
Yeah.
Another person said, writer would be wrong to tell at any time. I like Megan's chaos idea about 23andMe for Christmas or something, but only if you feel like you can't hold in the knowledge. Ultimately, it's not your secret to tell, and bio dad/grandpa is not. Oh, okay. So so what they did is they've said bio dad/grandpa, and they had that in lowercase letters. It's not grandpa/dad in uppercase letters, as in a formality for either of you. But please share an update if you find bio dad grandpa on your own.
We are so excited to let you know that this podcast is brought to you by Thrive Cosmetics. Now, we are slowly but surely inching our way into fall in Los Angeles. And I mean inching.
So slowly.
So slowly.
Maybe millimetering. Is that a thing?
Yeah, I think so, because when I look outside, I go, oh my God, look at all these brown, crispy leaves that have fallen to the ground, and they're crunchy, and I can prance around in them, except for not too long because it's still 85 degrees out.
Right.
You know, it's that. So I have to find other ways to get excited for fall, like my makeup. And for me, I have been keeping it very simple, especially on my off days when I'm not filming. And even if I am filming, I'm like dialing it back, doing something very simple like mascara and a lip tint, which is exactly what I'm wearing today. And you guys can't see me, but you should know I'm wearing the ad that we're talking about. So thank you, Thrive.
She looks good. And when we got on camera, I was like, what have you been doing today? Because I know we rarely leave our homes.
Yeah, and I didn't leave my home. I just happened to have a little fun at my makeup desk.
And Thrive inspired that. I, as y'all know, fall. Y'all know that I am a person that's like, we don't talk about fall until it's fall. And now is it officially fall? Then we can talk about it. And I can talk about how much I am looking forward to switching up my summer routine for makeup and moving into more autumn-inspired creations. And Thrive makes that possible.
Thrive Cosmetics beauty products are certified 100% vegan and cruelty-free, made with clean, skin-loving ingredients, high-performance and trademarked formulas, and uncompromising standards. And it's easy to see why their best sellers have thousands of 5-star reviews.
We were sent some beautiful shades, including their precision lipstick crayon that we received. The color is called Stephanie. It looks amazing on me. It is like a brownish red color. I'm not a technical person. Thrive they're the professionals. They provide it. I see it. I like it. I wear it. It's fantastic. They also have their liquid lash extension mascara. Not only does it last all day, it doesn't clump. There's no smudging. There's no flaking. You look like you're wearing lash extensions without having to go to the salon and getting them put on.
And it completely comes off so easily with water, which is something that, as someone who has been a till death do us part waterproof mascara kind of girl, usually I have to soak my eyelashes and my eyelids for about 5 minutes every night. And then when I wake up in the morning, I still look like a raccoon. And I'm like, and I got to do it again in the morning. So knowing that I can have that great long lash, voluminous and lengthened look, and then washing it off just as easy with water, it sounds like a dream. And it's got nourishing ingredients that help support longer, stronger, and healthier looking lashes over time. TBT to that time I was curling my lashes on your couch and they got stuck, and then I broke off half my lashes, and I was like, oh, we can't actually talk about this. And you're like, it's fine, we'll pretend it never happened.
And I forgot it happened until right now.
I thought it happened again the other day. And that was pre-Thrive. So thank Thrive Cosmetics. Now I'm gonna be set. These lashes are not going anywhere.
Great. I love that. Not only does Thrive provide excellent products, Thrive also donates to 8 major causes, including those impacted by cancer, domestic abuse, and veteran and education organizations.
So brighten up your fall look with Thrive Cosmetics, luxury beauty that gives back. And right now you can get an exclusive 20% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/blame. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/blame for 20% off your first order.
For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, and when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the date of the big game first before you accidentally buy tickets on your 20th wedding anniversary and have to spend the next 20 years of your marriage making up for it. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
Then we have writer number 2. Are they wrong for texting their ex who is in a relationship? 87% said the writer's wrong, but 13% said the writer's not wrong. You bitches are toxic.
I don't know. I think it's because we put it in the way with because I literally said in the episode, I don't think she's wrong. I think it was a cause and effect by the therapist.
Yeah, that's true. Someone said, I said she's not wrong in the sense that she shouldn't have. I believe that. But I also think how it came about made it a very emotional response, and who is definitely in the wrong is a psychologist. I'm cutting the writer some slack for this one, but don't text your ex. It's never what I go for. But either way, the psychologist stuff, that was very messy. So not again, writer. With love. Only wrong because following a fucked up therapist's advice. Need a new therapist ASAP. This therapist is wrong. I don't know how long the time gap was of blocking them to unblocking them, but clearly not enough. I think the writer is wrong to text her ex because not only is it disrespectful to the current girlfriend and relationship, it set her back in whatever stage of healing or growth she was in. But I voted that the writer wasn't wrong before realizing we had the option to vote the therapist was wrong. LOL. So both were definitely wrong, but I think as a professional in the situation, the therapist was quote unquote more wrong. And then the follow-up to that was also, is writer number 2's therapist wrong? 95% said therapist was wrong. 5% the therapist is not wrong. As someone who works in mental health and has studied psychology for years, I was racking my brain to figure out why the therapist would say this. My only thought is that somehow this is kind of a backward way to set boundaries, kind of like exposure therapy, seeing if you allow the thing, quote unquote, being your ex's social media to access you, but don't seek it yourself, aka not following the ex, what could happen? I think in the therapist's mind, they thought if the writer unblocked their ex and happened to stumble upon something, maybe they could have healed enough to not make the wrong decision, but clearly that didn't work. Either way, get a new therapist.
Then we have progressives that talk shit about Kamala Harris the whole campaign or didn't even vote. Someone said, I have a coworker who said she wouldn't vote at all. I flipped. We're not even American, but I was shocked at how extremely stupid that is. Voting is such a privilege, and not taking advantage of that privilege is so wild to me. Yeah.
Yep.
Someone said, how much more qualified could she be? A special fuck you to people who spread misinformation about her. This person sent a slew of messages, so I'm just going to read through them. It isn't progressive to abstain from voting and then inevitably take the rights away of people less privileged than you to prove a point, and then complain about the results of the election. Next message. Can y'all tell I'm crying and throwing up over this? Yeah. Another person said, I think this was one of my biggest frustrations when people were criticizing Kamala, no matter if they were valid criticisms or not. This election felt is so fragile, and despite so many people endorsing Kamala, they would all criticize her time after time. These people's followers are small-minded and lack the ability to think for themselves. No wonder why so many people chose not to vote or voted for the dumb fuck they say won. These progressives don't realize how much weight their voice carries and how it impacts people's decisions. These fuckers deserve to get whatever platform they have snatched away. And I mean that with my whole chest.
Yep. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have influencers that don't want to bring politics to their page. 93% said influencers are wrong. 7% said the influencers are not wrong. A couple people said they voted wrong. Being transparent about politics is being transparent about your morals and your understanding of empathy. If you don't want to be political, say nothing. You also have to accept that saying nothing is enough to make Democrats leave. Yep. That's the part that's like so infuriating to me because I'm like, you brought the politics are now on your page.
Mm-hmm.
To so say like it's like the dog whistle for being like, thank you. Now I know who you voted for. Like it's such to choose to not do that. I'm like, it's just as big of a statement to say that you're voting for someone because I already know what this means. And everyone knows what this means because you'll see people being like, you're right. People shouldn't have to say who they're voting for. And we all know who those people voted for. You can see on their profiles. And then the people who are like, yeah, no, this is not it. I'm like, and then you go to their profile and you see who they voted for. I'm like, you're doing exactly that thing. You just like think you're not. I'm like, I don't know who it benefits in that situation. Like you don't maintain your progressive and liberal audience. Like that doesn't happen. I mean, that seems like what they're trying to do anyways. By not bringing politics onto your page, you're inherently bringing politics to your page. I would much rather someone continue to go on like nothing's happening than for me to be irritated by their blatant stupidity and inability to try and hide the fact that they're definitely on the wrong side. Yep. And that is it. I also want to note that the person who I used in this, who made a whole video about how she's like not going to talk about politics and how like, you know, she like loves people on every side and she doesn't let that divide her. She is quite literally a convicted felon who has spent time in jail. She can't legally vote, but she has gone through the prison system at an incredibly young age, got sober, stopped using drugs, like had her kid, like turned her life around, like all of this kind of stuff, and like was incredibly poor, did not grow up in great circumstance in a great area. And I'm like, okay, and you can't vote, but you would have voted for Trump is essentially what that is. And I'm like,
wow,
what? We haven't learned anything. Nothing. No life experience. And also I'm like, you have been forced to be surrounded with people who have very differing life experiences. Also not privileged people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, and this is the takeaway. Okay. What? Yeah, she was huge on Vine and then she like disappeared for years and then Vine was gone.
Because she was in jail?
And then she came back and she was like, yeah, so I was in jail.
This episode is brought to you by Skinny Pop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. Skinny Pop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up Skinny Pop Original Popcorn today.
Blinds.com's Black Friday sales event is happening now with our best deals of the season. Let our design experts help you make the perfect selection for your home on your schedule. We can send free samples right to you and handle everything from measure to install. With over 25 million windows covered, Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Save up to 50% site-wide, plus doorbusters, and a free professional measure at the Blinds.com Black Friday sales event now. Rules and restrictions may apply.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon. The holidays are here, and you know what that means. It's time to get your friends and family the gifts they deserve. Take the stress out of shopping with Amazon's great deals and low prices on a huge range of items from toys to tech and much more. Whoever you're gifting for, Amazon has great prices on everything you need this holiday season. Shop Black Friday week deals now.
So that one really, like that one actually surprised me. And like, I'm not surprised, but like not even based on like, oh, I thought I knew her as a person. No, just like based on like bullet points of her life. That surprised me.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's it for the votes, but stick around because we're just going to chat about some stuff. So Megan, you have been so into Molly Roeder. I still don't really care. But I know that you care, so I care that you
I care enough for the both of us.
So somebody wrote in with some thoughts on this because we were talking about how Buffalo is small. And this person said, "Hi, I wanted to write in about Molly Rudder and Buffalo. I lived in Buffalo for the first 22 years of my life and have some insight. So Buffalo has a large downtown area with like a dozen suburbs surrounding. So the amount of people that claim they are from Buffalo is way more than you'd think. So I'm really curious where she actually lives because I can almost guarantee it's not downtown. I imagine LA is similar where people could be living in a surrounding city, but say they're in LA because the closest big city, if that makes sense. So her dating pool is probably like all of Western New York of people all claiming they're from Buffalo."
Yeah, I would say that's like less LA. That's very San Francisco, like very Bay Area. Like there are people from like Danville who will say they're from the Bay Area. And I was like, that's just like factually not true. Like that's no. LA is so big. I wonder how big Buffalo is. Oh, 52 square miles.
But how many people? New York population.
So greater Buffalo is 1.16 million.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So I guess that like if the Buffalo, the city, the quote unquote city of itself is small. And then you have that. Maybe it's like Chicago.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I guess this makes a little more sense that she's dating, like they said, an entire section of a state, not so much just her hometown.
Her net is wide.
Yeah, it is a wide net. Though I did see that she's now saying that she's no longer going to be dating men. She's only like, she's not dating at all right now.
But
someone
she probably
said,
will
"Didn't you
change
get
that
ghosted?"
tomorrow.
And she said, "Yeah, but that's not the point." They're like, "Okay, Molly." So like, it's convenient that you get to now claim like, you can't fire me, I quit. That she's like, I'm just going to date women from now on. And as someone who's been following Molly for a while, I'm so not doubting that she's interested or attracted to women. From my memory, and if anyone's been like a longer Molly Rudder viewer for way longer than me, in my memory, this girl has gone on so many dates and not one of them was with a woman. And
well,
so
now she's making the net even wider. So
to fully pivot. No, because she's cutting out men. She says she's not dating men anymore.
Sorry.
So she's only going to date women.
But before it was wider. Now she's making it smaller.
Yeah. Well, I don't know because I don't know what if she was dating women before. She said she was interested in women. She just only dated men.
Okay. Well,
so I wonder if
maybe she ran out of men and now she's
well, that was I was like, okay, I would say though, if I'm having a hard time dating men and I like don't want to date, and I don't know, I just think that like the likelihood that like a straight man is coming across my TikToks about dating and is like knee deep in my lore is slightly unlikely. I find that a woman, that's like vast majority of her audience. And I'm like, Molly Rudder, are you going to date fans? Like, are you going to date fans now? I have so many, if I could have a looking glass into like what her social media career future is going to look like, because she did make a whole thing about, so Molly, you know, I think it was her second installment of Molly Gets Political. She was like, I've decided that I am going to be making my cameos 50% off and donating them to charity. To which Jesse made a great point. Maybe you shouldn't discount them if you're donating them to charity.
Right. Also, though, like, doesn't she say one thing and the next day she changes her mind anyway? So by the time this comes out on Tuesday, it's probably invalid anyway.
Without a doubt. And that's what makes following Molly Rudder the roller coaster that it is. Because like, you have no idea. You think she's going to zig, she zags. You think she's going to zag, she zigs. Like, you don't know where she's going. And she will constantly surprise you. Delight you? Never. Will you always be surprised? Yes. But she then was like, yeah, I'm going to donate all this to like this bookstore in Buffalo. And everybody was like, well, couldn't we just donate the money there? Like, why do we need to do the cameos 50% off? And she was like, well, yeah, I guess you could do that. But like, She's trying to use my platform. And then she like was like, I have a friend who like, it was so weird. She's like, I have a friend who like loves the library. Like anytime I'm going through something, she goes, go to the library. And I was like, finally like, okay, I'll go to the library. I was like, I'm sorry, a teacher kind of just being like whatever about a library and like needing someone to influence them.
What does she teach?
I don't know. And if it's history, I will kill myself. Like that will kill me.
Or English.
I'm better with English, but like this woman is saying that she's going to learn how economics works and she's going to like learn how history worked.
But I mean about going to the library specifically, an English teacher going to the library.
And being like, fine, okay, you've shoved me enough, I'll go to the library. Like, it was just so funny. And she's like, I want to like read books. I'm thinking books about like books from Black women. Like I want to like read those kinds of books and I want to learn about how politics works. I want to learn about like the economy. I want to learn about like the history and all of that. This girl, she checks out a book by Jodi Picoult. That's a white woman. Mm-hmm. It's a novel. Mm-hmm. It might be about a Black woman, but it's by a white woman. It might be about the social issues, but it's by a white woman, and it's a novel. This is from the same woman who, like, and I don't know anything about this book. So this book could be bad, so I'm not like co-signing. But I just want, for context, Jodi Picoult wrote My Sister's Keeper, the one about the girl with cancer, and then they had another girl to like harvest the organ. Like, that's what we're talking about. She's written a lot of very famous books, but she's not Malala. Like, this is not what these are mom beach reads. Or like curled up on the couch, I'm crying about a book. Like, your aunt loves these books. I read a lot of these books when I was younger. But like, what do you mean that you went to learn about the economy and you left with the Jodi Picoult book? Like, that's insane. That's like saying, I want to learn about trigonometry and leaving with Nicholas Sparks.
This woman might be the greatest troll of all time.
Melissa, that's the thing. That's what Mecca says. Mecca's like, I can't stop. Mecca's like, I like stop telling her to stop everyone because I need to watch how this unfolds. Like, don't take this entertainment away from me. So yeah, everyone's wondering she's either the biggest troll of all time or she's exactly who social media was designed for people who are like so full throttle in what they're doing and saying, while simultaneously backtracking and all of that. And like, there's no shame in it. So that was like a wild journey to watch. But I don't know. I haven't checked on her today. So maybe she went on a date. What did she do? Oh, she did an Amazon haul. Of course. She did a hair tutorial and she did some singing. She's now doing social media she's fostering a dog, I think. And then it's like find a dog a home, or maybe she's not fostering. She's just posting photos of a dog that's available for adoption. And as she said, she can care about a lot of things at once. She can care about, oh my God, I can't. Some of these hashtags for hashtag social justice, hashtag activism.
All right, let's move on to something that we both enjoy, and that's Keke Palmer. So,
my queen,
Keke's Korner. I don't know if you saw who is doing like a Monopoly Go. I don't know what you call this, but there's a star-studded quartet that are going along with Mr. Monopoly in a playfully spotlight the emotional roller coaster of Monopoly Go. And this quartet includes Will Ferrell, Jason Momoa, Chris Pratt.
I saw that one.
And Keke Palmer.
Keke, why have I not seen that one yet?
I don't know.
Because that's my entire TikTok feed is just Keke Palmer interviews.
Yes, Keke has a book coming out, or I think it's out. It just came out today, as we're recording this. And it's called Master of Me, The Secret of Controlling Your Narrative. And I specifically want to talk about is she put someone by the name of Brenda, in quotations, fake name, in her book. And while on the set of Scream Queen, she was like, to everyone, have fun and respect each other. And then this person, Brenda, said, Keke, literally just don't. Who do you think you are? Martin fucking Luther King? Yeah, people thought it was two people. Either,
I know in my
but
heart.
I knew in my heart who it was. They were like, it's either Emma Roberts or
Leah
Leah Michele.
Who do you think it is?
Leah Michele.
I think it's Emma Roberts.
I don't think it's Emma Roberts for a couple of reasons. One, Emma Roberts' family was involved in civil rights stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, you've seen the stuff that she's said.
I know, but Keke still follows Emma on social media,
Okay.
and she still talks positively about Emma.
Okay, so that's my question, because I thought she hadn't, but she's been on Watch What Happens Live, and they asked her when last time she saw someone and or whatever, and it was like about Leah, and she was with Karamo.
And they were like, "Where's Leah?"
And she said, "I love Leah,"
but she said it in a way of like, "I love Leah. Where is Leah? I haven't seen her." And then everybody else, Karamo and
Let me go see if Amber Riley liked the post. That's all I need to know.
It was very much a moment of it was Karamo and the bartender, who I think might have been one of Karamo's sons. I don't remember. But the bartender disappeared.
Yeah, no,
it was very much a moment.
I've
Yes, it was very much a moment of like, we don't like Leah, we don't talk about Leah.
So in my mind, I was like, okay, well, that has to be it, because someone I saw on TikTok was wrong, because it said the only person she didn't follow was Emma. And I was like, oh.
No,
so
she
then
follows
it's
Emma.
So then so then
she doesn't follow Leah.
Then it's Leah.
Yeah.
Now I have to rewatch that clip. It's the funniest thing in the world. Also because Andy Cohen, I think, is somewhat friends with Leah Michele, and he didn't get it. Like, he had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, she follows Emma.
Oh, you're right then.
And does not follow Leah Michele.
Oh, I just got it backwards.
But I've heard her recently talk highly about Emma. So I knew it wasn't her.
Yeah. I also think that it doesn't sound like Emma. Emma's like,
no.
Emma's mean. Like, it's obviously mean, but like, it would have been about like 4 sentences longer and like,
I don't think she would have dropped, it wouldn't have been Martin Luther King.
I think it would have been more niche.
Yes.
I think it would have been something to like, not everybody would get it, but Keke got it.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd been like, holy fuck. Like,
yes.
It would have been like, I'm not going to go for the jugular. I'm going to like go for the head, and I'm going to rip the whole thing off.
Way to eat a tea. You're listening to an ad for PC Game Pass. Want new games on day one, like Indiana Jones and the Great Circle? How about living out your Sims life with EA Play? We're talking high-quality PC games all for one low monthly price. We got you. Learn more at xbox.com/PC Game Pass or click the banner. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle available December 9th, 2024. Game catalog varies by region and over time. Okay, that's the ad. You can go back to doing whatever you were doing now.
You come to the New Yorker Radio Hour for conversations that go deeper with people you really want to hear from, whether it's Bruce Springsteen or Questlove or Olivia Rodrigo, Liz Cheney, or the godfather of artificial intelligence, Jeffrey Hinton, or some of my extraordinarily well-informed colleagues at the New Yorker. So join us every week on the New Yorker Radio Hour, wherever you listen to podcasts.
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode, we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
And you saw that she was on your enemies, but you still watch them, used to watch them.
Oh, I don't watch
The Toast.
I used to just get intel because I wanted to know, because they're so clearly conservative right wing. And prior to the 2020 election, I was like, I need to see what they're saying, because like how they're subtly influencing people with their stories and like all of that kind of stuff. And then they were just like, mask off. And I was like, oh, okay, never mind. The Toast.
What do you mean?
Like they just like I forget what one of them said. It was just like they made fun of pronouns, and I was like, oh, they're not even trying to hide it anymore.
Oh.
And so then their audience understood, because before it was like they were really not towing the line like to me, but to like younger people or people who might not have grown up as progressive. They would like pick specific stories or like phrasing that I was like, these are like you're trying to get your audience in this to believe in this way or feel this way or whatever. And then they just One of them fully went QAnon, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're horrible.
In the interview, though, they asked her about the Lea Michele not being able to read thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I never saw her read a book on set, but like nobody's ever seen me read a book on set. If she was friends with her, she would have like defended, like, no, that girl can read.
But I do like the fact that she was like, and if she can't, so what? So what? You got to lift those people up.
Right. And that's how I've been the whole time with that. Because I don't like that rumor. Because I was like, there are people that can't read.
No, totally.
Like, so like, let's not be ableist about it. But I agree with Keke on that part. There are people that can't read.
Yeah.
So
I watched the most amazing story about a football player who was at one of like an SEC? One of those Southern schools, what are they called? Is it SEC?
Yep.
At one of those schools, and he was like star player, and he like played in the NFL for a bit, but he like really went so hard in his college career that like his body was like pretty fucking spent. But he did a bit in the NFL, and so like he got paid pretty well. But he had like, I think he like graduated high school with like maybe a 6th grade reading level, and was like, I want to get better at reading. I like want to be into books. And he like went to Barnes and Noble, and
I saw this
like white woman had struck up a conversation or whatever, and he was like asking her for like a book recommendation or something, and she like mentioned her book club, and he was like, oh, can I join? Like that seems like the perfect place. And she was like, I don't think you want to join my book. Like, I don't think it's the books you want to read. We're all old. Like, I don't know if you want to. Everyone's got like white hair. Like, I don't know. And he was like, no, I would love to. And he's like been a part of their book club for years. He like now writes children's books, and he is like an avid reader, and is like works but with like children's literacy and like all of these kinds of things, and like says that like football, and he was like, it's the thing I'm the most proud of. It's my greatest accomplishment. The interviewer was like, but like you have like one of the most insane college records of football. And he was like, I didn't have to work hard at football. I had to work really hard at reading. Like football came easy to me. Football was like breathing. Like this was a lot of work. And I like see people on TikTok, like a lot of like adults who will go into libraries and like get help for those things, and like make it a mission to get better at reading. And like, I do think that like the you can't read jokes will have to stop if people are also going to be sharing the articles about the children graduating from like the COVID kids having abysmally low reading levels. Like you can't this can't be like a hee ha you can't read, and then also be like, and the children also can't read. I'm like, okay, so we're concerned yet we're laughing. So I do think that the Lea Michele joke is done, especially because like now it's been like removed from all of the context, where like it came from a podcast, and it was that like all of her Instagram captions were emojis. Like they had all of these things that were there, and it was like, and it was posed as like, this is a joke that like now suddenly we're like, well, everything is fitting in and it's funny. But now if it's like, you can't read. Okay.
Yeah. Now she's in on the joke because she's made a joke about it too. So
yeah. So it's therefore, as soon as the person who the joke's made about is in on the joke, it is put to bed.
Yep.
We're done now.
Yep.
It's like Debbie Ryan with her little hair tuck.
But Keke's been looking gorgeous in these interviews. Did you see her on Hoda? And that hair?
Melissa. I was like, Keke, you actually have to, this has to be your Kim Possible outfit. You need to wear this every day. It was the color on her, the hair, the lips, the eye, like everything was so gorgeous. And I said, are we getting Keke back on daytime? Is Keke coming back to daytime?
Yeah. Yep.
She'd make time. Also, Shannon Sharpe is in love with her.
Yuck.
But I've actually never seen any man, let alone that man, giggle.
He is a giggling man. No, I don't think you've watched any of his interviews. He giggles.
I try not to.
I don't want to, but clips there. He has people on that I like to watch things.
I've watched a lot of clips.
And he is a giggling man. He likes to move. He likes to
swing his little feet.
He likes to pump his little legs. Like I think at home he probably lies down on his stomach and rubs his toes together.
Yeah, and I think he probably twirls like an invisible strand of hair when he does that.
Yes, no, he is a giggling man.
So I've never heard him giggle like he did about Keke. Like, and it just reminded me of the Sean Evans clip where when he was on Chicken Shop Date and Amelia asked him if like he's ever like had a crush on anyone who has been on, or maybe he asked her and then she asked the question in return. And he was like, oh yeah, there's one. And she was like guessing. And he was like, no, Keke Palmer. Like, I can't. It's just, and she was like, oh yeah. And then she had Keke on and she was like, oh my God, I get it. And I was like, and we're watching Shannon Sharpe in that moment. Like, you know, Sean, I don't think Sean was like, I have a chance. Like all these other people were like fangirling in the sense of like, oh my God, my dream woman. But Shannon Sharpe, I was like,
no,
she's not into this.
I mean, he did the same thing with Monique. So someone in his age group, but he was giggling with her too. He's a giggler, but Keke did get him with, I don't know if you saw, I really didn't want to see this. It just happened upon my page, but his Instagram, he was hooking up with a woman. And he accidentally, his phone fell to the floor and accidentally went on Instagram Live. So you couldn't see, but you could hear, and he was talking her through it. And he, at one point, he goes, "My Michelle," as he's talking her through it. And that is what he was laughing at Keke about, because Keke brought it up. I figured you didn't get what the joke was about.
No.
So Keke, when he said you like older men or whatever, and then Keke said, yeah, that's what Michelle said too. That is why he started yelling about that.
I'm going to be sick. I have to tell Mott's, because every time Shannon Sharpe is on my For You page, which is Amanda Seales interview, just any random interview he's done that like is with someone who I engage with their content somewhere else. Of course, I've seen the entire Keke interview. Mott's is just like, I can't. Like, this is so weird to me. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, do you know how good of a football player he was? And I was like, he played football? And Mott's was like, this is insane to me. Like, he's like, he has one of the craziest records of all time. Like, the fact that he's just on fucking YouTube giggling and kicking his feet. Like, he's like, it's just crazy. Like, this man doesn't have to do this. He doesn't need the money. He doesn't like any of this kind of thing. He's like,
he just enjoys doing it.
Yeah, he's like, this is so crazy to me that like he's had this entire second renaissance of his career with people who had no idea what he did before. And he's so passionate about this. And I was like, yeah, I'll have to tell him that part. He'll be like, I can't. Like, I just I need you to stop.
He made merch after it happened too, because first he denied it was him, but you can very clearly hear that it's him.
I'm sorry. Then someone else was on his Instagram Live fucking someone. Okay.
And then he said he got hacked. And it's like, that's not how Instagram works. Like, it was on your phone from your Instagram and your voice. And then he finally accepted it. And then he made merch with it. This was recent too. This, I would say, maybe 2 months ago.
How's Michelle doing?
We don't know who Michelle is. There's one person that he follows that was named Michelle. And it was this Black woman that's like in her 50s, and she was like, please stop posting my name on things. This is not me. This is not me. Please stop.
Yeah, it's gonna be Rachel Ray all over again. Like, ooh. I want to know who started the rumor that it was Rachel Ray.
No clue.
And I want to know what picture they said, of course Becky with the good hair is Rachel Ray. Show me what photo.
No.
Show me what photo confirmed it for you. Was it the foreskin chicken? Like, what one was it?
All right, well, this has been a very fun episode of Fisting Friday. Nope, I did it again. Of See You Next Tuesday. Let me wait till this car and alarms.
By the way, Molly did an entire podcast episode with a car alarm and a fire, like, and a wee going on for like 5 minutes, and everyone's like, Molly, pause. She just powers through. Nothing can stop her.
You should close this out because I don't know if that's going out.
Okay. That is it for our See You Next Tuesday episode. We hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to vote in the upcoming episode. And what day does this come out?
Tuesday, because it's See You Next Tuesday.
You're right. That makes sense. And
there won't be an episode on Thursday because it's Thanksgiving. And there also won't be an episode on Friday. There will be episodes, they just won't be new episodes. Yeah. They'll be classic.
So maybe you're new here and you can roll it back and hear some of our handpicked, fantastic best of. And we will
see you next Tuesday. Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, What are you doing?
What do you mean?
Just keep it simple.
I'm making the promo.
Just keep it simple. Just say, hey, we're the Brav Bros. 2 guys that talk about Bravo.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're the Brav Bros.
No.
Oh.
Dude, stop with the voice. Just keep it simple.
I've seen promos on TV, dude. This is how you get the fans engaged. This is how you get listeners. We're trying to get listeners here. If we just say, oh, we're 2 dudes that talk about Bravo, people are going to get tired of it already. We need some oomph.
All right, then fine. Let's try to do it with your voice.
Brav Bros.
Good job.
Hi, this is Rob Benedict.
And I am Richard Spate. We were both on a little show you might know called Supernatural.
It had a pretty good run, 15 seasons, 327 episodes.
And though we have seen, of course, every episode many times, we figured, hey, now that we're wrapped, let's watch it all again.
And we can't do that alone. So we're inviting the cast and crew that made the show along for the ride. We've got writers, producers, composers, directors, and we'll of course have some actors on as well, including some certain guys that played some certain pretty iconic brothers.
It was kind of a little bit of a left field choice in the best way possible.
The note from Kripke was, he's great, we love him, but we're looking for like a really intelligent Duchovny type.
With 15 seasons to explore, it's going to be the road trip of several lifetimes. So please join us and subscribe to Supernatural Then and Now.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey, y'all, I'm JJ.
Hey, guys, it's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests who share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like, it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out Real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.